5 signs to detect a toxic relationship. When we are immersed in a situation, it is sometimes difficult to have an objective perspective of things. In matters of love also happens. For that reason, it becomes relatively frequent not to detect a toxic relationship when we are one of the members of the couple. Maybe sometimes, people around you have warned you about attitudes they have observed in the way your partner acts, or in yourself, and that they find it shocking for what they consider a healthy relationship. It may be a difference in views, but there is also the possibility that feelings are blinding us. If you suspect that they may be right, in our entry we will tell you 5 signs to detect a toxic relationship. While sometimes things can be so subtle that you cannot explain exactly what happens, these signals can help you see the situation with more clarity. 1. You feel restrained when expressing your opinion. It may be that you have very clear topics that have become taboo among you, or you may not know what the reason is really, but for a while now since you are with your partner, you realize that the naturalness with which you expressed your way of thinking has disappeared. Maybe you do not realize what situations are the ones that make you walk more carefully when it comes to pronouncing yourself, but you have noticed a change in yourself and now you are less spontaneous because something tells you that repressing certain comments avoid arguments, bad faces, or distancing from you on their part. Pay attention to these details because it can be a symptom of being in a toxic relationship. 2. Condition your way of dressing. Could it be that your sexiest side has been relegated to your strictest intimacy without you being able to openly express your own sensuality even in the smallest details of your look? Or perhaps, on the contrary, you are forced to dress and make up in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable just to please? The way you dress, the way you wear your makeup, it is an extension of your own personality. You are also expressing yourself with your image, the way you feel, in the way you perceive life. Therefore, anyone who puts limits on your way of taking care of yourself is also putting them to your freedom of expression. Do you think that a person really loves you if it conditions its love according to the way you look? Stop to think about it for a moment, because you could find yourself in a toxic relationship. 3. Despises both your problems and your personal merits. When he has a bad day or a problem to solve, you are always all ears for him and dedicate all your energies in supporting him or helping him to find solutions. But nevertheless, when it comes to you, you know that having his active listening is an option that you cannot count on. If at the time of telling him your worries he offers you an expression of disinterest and with his attitude of indifference he does not show that he cares what you are sharing with him, or when you talk about your achievements you can only count on his disdain, consider to what extent it is worthwhile to continue trusting a person like that. 4. Note that your sexual relations are forced. Could it be that you are opting to maintain relationships with your partner despite not wanting too much just to prevent him from becoming angry with you? Or worse, perhaps he forces you or submits you to some type of emotional blackmail to perform sexual practices that do not make you any grace or directly violate you. Could this be the case? Whatever your modus operandi, the fact is that you notice that sex between you has ceased to be something pleasant, romantic, exciting, even a point of connection in your relationship, to become something unpleasant for you that, given the circumstances, you would prefer to avoid. The limits of your physical and emotional well-being are entirely yours. Mark them with force if you feel that they are being ignored. 5. Controls your way of relating to people in your environment. An unmistakable sign to detect a toxic relationship is when those relationships of friendship, work, or even family, which should not be affected by the fact of being in a couple, end up leading to an unjustified distancing. Think that when you join a person through the trust that is woven into a couple, in that acceptance of your way of being is also accepting the healthy bonds you maintain with your loved ones. You may not share the same enthusiasm for cultivating a friendship, for example, but accepting your decision is another form of respect that should be unquestionable. Did you know that we all have toxic attitudes sometimes? Since we are making statements and observing behaviors that can detect a toxic relationship, let us do an exercise of humility and recognize that, at times, we can all make this type of mistakes. Fortunately, as long as we are able to discover them and accept our mistakes, we will be on the right track to improve and continue growing as a person and, consequently, also as a couple. Source: https://laguiafeminina.com. To learn more about 5 signs to detect a toxic relationship, download my book free by clicking the book image on the right or the link in the description below, and please subscribe to this channel and share this video.